did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh, amazing.
He kicked that old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the race.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
It's just so fucking bad. So,
I just can't imagine.
but can you imagine that guy with dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they see him. They probably he can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just keep knocking him out, right?
Hey guys, I gotta tell you, man, the Biden administration has become the laughing stock of the world, okay? And it's not something that we should be laughing at, but it's so bad, it's so terrible that you don't have a choice but to laugh, okay? Because if you don't laugh, then there's a good chance that you can lose your mind over all the insanity that is happening in this country, and that can make you depressed, okay? So I don't want you to be depressed, okay? We gotta laugh at the clown show that is the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, that is a sinking ship, okay? What you guys just saw there was a leaked video of Trump roasting Biden and Kamala Harris, okay? Biden for his disastrous debate performance and Trump's reaction to reports that Joe Biden is speaking with some of his handlers about potentially dropping out, okay? Now, again, of course, they've denied this. They say that, hey, Joe's not going to drop out, okay? Joe's still in the race. But regardless, okay, I think Trump roasting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is hilarious, right? I think the funniest part is him attacking Kamala because, again, Kamala's just as bad as Joe, right? And she's a laughing stock as well. In fact, the whole Biden administration, the whole campaign, the whole White House is a laughing stock. And to remind you guys of just how humiliating and embarrassing this administration is, we have to go over some highlights from Karine Jean-Pierre's latest press conference in which she tries to run propaganda on behalf of the Biden administration, trying to pretend like everything is all good. Okay, there's nothing wrong with Joe Biden. As the mainstream liberal media openly is now roasting Joe Biden because they're not falling for the gaslighting anymore. And again, this press conference was just hilarious, okay? It was very humiliating for the Biden administration and his campaign. Take a look.
Have an afternoon nap every day.
Let me be very clear about this. This is a president that wakes up every morning and puts the American people first. That's what he does. He does that every single day. That is his focus. I am not going to speak to sources out there, unnamed sources out there. That's not what I'm going to speak to. I'm going to speak to what I know, what this president does, and how he is committed to the work of the president, of the commander-in-chief. And his record clearly lays that out and speaks to it. And that's what he's going to continue to do. The American people first, and delivering for them.
He's absolutely running.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that, and I'm sharing with you his view.
And we would invite the president to come here and tell us that directly.
Noted, Kelly.
But
He's awake.
That's inappropriate.
As you heard from your colleague, the president of the WHCA, that's inappropriate. Thank you, Kelly.
And I did want to follow up on what Sungmin brought up, I think others as well. You did get numerous questions yesterday about the president's debate performance. You didn't mention the travel, the jet lag, the foreign trip. So I think you can understand why it was a little bit puzzling to hear the president mentioning that as his explanation for the first time last night. I'm just, can you clarify whether when you took the podium yesterday, did you not know that that was a major factor?
And I want to say that is my bad. That is part of definitely part of the explanation of what had occurred. I did know that. I did know that. But we were so focused. I was so focused on the cold, and that's what I kind of leaned into and talked about. But yes, his schedule did have something to do with it. It was the schedule and the cold, and I was aware of that yesterday.
Yeah, see, now you heard that. Okay, that is Karine Jean-Pierre spinning the propaganda that lies on behalf of the Biden administration. And the hilarious part is that she's just so bad at it, okay? She's just absolutely terrible, right? You have the mainstream liberal media asking the question of if Joe Biden is actually awake, right? Is Joe Biden awake? Can he come in here and actually talk to us and tell us what you're telling us right now? Okay, give us an explanation, because you're not giving us no explanation on anything, okay? I mean, they asked Karine Jean-Pierre about her not mentioning jet lag as part of the reason why Joe Biden had such a terrible performance, okay? And Karine Jean-Pierre says, my bad, I was focused on spitting my other propaganda, which is saying that Joe Biden had a cold, okay? Because the excuses are getting longer and longer and longer, okay? Joe Biden had a cold, jet lag, it was just a bad night, anything except the truth, which is that Biden is cognitively impaired, okay? Which is what Karine Jean-Pierre knows. Everybody knows this, because Karine Jean-Pierre is an expert at spinning propaganda. In fact, in an essay that she wrote, she actually talked about how she spun propaganda and lies on behalf of Democrats before in the past when they had a losing campaign, right? She talked about working for John Edwards in his dying campaign. And this is what she said, quote, "There's nothing more dispiriting than working on a dying campaign." Oh, I bet, right? I bet. That seems to be something that Karine Jean-Pierre is an expert at, right? They seem to pick her to spin propaganda for dying campaigns, okay? The atmosphere resembles one of those sad birthday balloons with the air slowly seeping out as it deflates. You show up at the office, you're pumped. You attack the phones. You deliberately put prep in your voice. Quote, "Everything is going great. We would blatantly lie to the movers and shakers we were calling, but the more we tried, the less it helped." Yo, I can't believe she wrote this, because if somebody told you that she wrote this about the Biden campaign, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right? You would say, okay, yeah, I totally believe that, right? It would be totally believable, okay? Again, this is her basically admitting that, yes, I lie, right? I get paid to lie on behalf of Democrats, which again explains why she got this job with the Biden administration, because again, she has a history of lying. She admitted that in an article that she worked. She lies for dying campaigns, and she knows that it doesn't work, right? She knows the lies don't work. But she does it anyways, okay? Because that's what she's paid to do. So anyway, that brings me to this video right here of Democrat governors who are in panic mode over Joe Biden getting his butt whooped by Trump, okay? And they're going to try to spin some propaganda here to make people feel like Joe Biden is actually in a good place, right? And Joe Biden is cognitively fit enough to run for office, okay? This is after, again, these governors were going to the media, putting out all this information and these messages, basically saying that, hey, we're concerned about Biden. We're concerned about where he's at, okay? So they went and paid him a visit, and this is their takeaway.
Donald Trump was president, and the threats to our nation were real. And so those concerns are real to us. And what we understand was a Trump presidency was chaos, destruction. A Biden presidency was dealing with COVID, using the science, investing in infrastructure, and working to the middle class. And all of us are trying to figure out and just want to make sure, as governors, we're on the front line of many of these things. We're in states, whether they're swing states or not, where folks care and are giving us feedback. And the feedback was, we are all looking for the path to win. All the governors agree with that. President Biden agrees with that. He has had our backs through COVID, through all of the recovery, all of the things that have happened. The governors have his back, and we're working together just to make very, very clear on that. A path to victory in November is the #1 priority, and that's the #1 priority of the president. So that's what we're trying to get done. The feedback was good. The conversation was honest and open, and the actions that will come out of that will make sure that we're getting that message out. With that, Governor Moore.
Again, notice how this guy did not speak to Biden's cognitive abilities at all, right? He didn't speak on that at all. Had nothing to say about it. He came out talking about Trump. Well, Trump bad, so therefore we're going to get behind an empty suit. We're going to get behind a guy that we were concerned about whether or not he could actually run the country. Well, you know, hey, after this meeting, okay, we're just going to fall in line, and don't worry about Biden's mental health. You know, Trump's the problem, right? Trump's the problem. Again, notice how this guy does not give an endorsement of Biden's mental health. Well, again, why is that? Because he doesn't want to embarrass himself, right? He does not want to gaslight the country, right? Or his state, okay? Like some people in the Democrat Party are doing when it comes to Joe Biden and his condition.
Thank you so much. It was a great conversation with the president and the vice president because it was honest. it was candid. I think that, we always believe that when you love someone, you tell them the truth. And I think we came in and we were honest about the feedback that we were getting. We were honest about the concerns that we were hearing from people. And we were also honest about the fact that as the president continued to tell us and show us that he was all in, that we said that we would stand with him. Because as Governor Walz said, the president has always had our backs. We're going to have his back as well. Because the results that we've been able to see under this administration have been undeniable in all of our individual states. But the thing that makes us most optimistic and most hopeful is not necessarily that we're afraid of an alternative, but also is that we're hopeful for the future. And so we know we have work to do. We know that as we're standing right here, we're behind. But we also know that that path to be able to make sure that we can pull ahead in November is real, and it's going to take all of us in order to make it happen and to make it work. And we're grateful to hear the level of excitement and the focus that the president and the vice president have about being victorious in November. And with that, I'll turn it over to Governor Hochul.
Again, another Democrat that said nothing about Biden's mental health, said nothing, didn't endorse Biden's cognitive abilities, okay? I mean, this tells you everything you need to know, right? It tells you everything you need to know, okay? The only thing that people are looking for in regards to the feedback that these individuals, okay, are giving to the media is Biden's mental health. They are saying nothing about that. It tells you everything you need to know. Biden is worse than we think, okay? He's worse than we think behind closed doors. There's no doubt.
Thank you. Representing states like New York and all across America, we came together tonight to listen to President Biden tell us in his own words what his plans were. I'm here to tell you today, President Joe Biden is in it to win it. And all of us said we pledged our support to him because the stakes could not be higher. On the eve of the 4th of July celebration, we talk about how we transition under a monarchy and a tyranny that our founding fathers fought against, that we risk right now descending back into that very same place. We will stand with the president as we fight that force being Donald Trump. And together, we'll make sure that Americans know not just what Joe Biden did for all of us, and the list of what he did for my state of New York is extraordinarily long, but where he's going for the future and where he's going to take this country. We feel very confident in his abilities. We talked about the plan and how he's going to be very focused on issues that matter to Americans, and I felt very confident coming out of this meeting as well.
Is he fit for office? Do you think he's fit for office?
Yes, fit for office. President has 3.5 years of delivering for us, going through what we've all been through. None of us are denying. Thursday night was a bad performance. It was a bad hit, if you will, on that. But it doesn't impact what I believe. He's delivering.
What would you say to people in your own party? What would you say to people in your own party who say the game is up, enough's enough?
No, I would say this. In November, we've got a clear choice. The president was very clear that he is in this to win this. And the president is our nominee. The president is our party leader. And the president has told us, and he was very clear back there, that he is in this to win this. And so for people, I would say, and listen, we're governors. We don't do hand-wringing. That's not what we do. Governors work and get things done. Governors say, tell me the objective, and we're going to make sure that we accomplish the objective. And so for people who are concerned, I just want to be very clear on something. And come November, we've got a binary choice. And the binary choice is between someone who has continually delivered for us and our states and the people of our states, and frankly, someone whose vision for the future of this country is downright dangerous. And so I would tell people it is time to mount up. And it is time to get serious and understand what's at stake.
So I want you guys to understand, these people that were lecturing us about not putting your party over the country are quite literally putting their party over the country right now, right? That is what's happening, okay? They're basically saying, listen. We can't really come out here and to really endorse Biden's cognitive abilities, okay? We can't say that he's not an empty suit, but we can say that, hey, he's good for pushing our agenda, right? And that, Trump is dangerous. So therefore, we're going to try to get all on the same page. I guarantee you the mainstream liberal media, they will get on the same page and they will stop talking about Biden's issues and they'll get back to full-blown Trump derangement. That's what's about to happen, right? It seems as if that's what's about to happen.
Governor Moore, you said this was President Biden. What did you ask President Biden to do to regain the confidence of voters? How did the president explain his debate performance to you on Thursday night? And does he understand the stakes? Did he speak about?
Yeah, he did. He said, look, he didn't listen to himself, and I thought he gave a great example. And when he said, look, I'm worrying about numbers on this. It's about people. It's about their lives. This is Joe from Scranton. He talks about building the middle class. He did it. He delivered. And I think this idea that you get in your own head, you get a little bit cycled up on that. What we saw in there today was a guy who was the guy that all of us believed in the first time, who could beat Donald Trump, and did beat Donald Trump. With that, we thank you.
Yeah, so again, it's all about Trump, right? This is what they're doing, which is not going to work, by the way. And like I said, it's just funny. None of these people are taking my advice, right? If they took my advice, the Democrats would probably be in a better place. So I'm actually glad they're not taking my advice, right? Don't take my advice, Democrats, okay? But if I was in your shoes, what I would say, okay, if I was a major figure in the Democrat Party, Joe Biden is not cognitively fit for office, okay? We all see it. And it's our fault because we rigged our own primaries. And our party is too extreme, right? It's too progressive. What you have here are Democrat governors coming out and endorsing an agenda that the American people don't agree with, right? It is hurting the American people. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I say it doesn't matter who they switch out Biden with. If you come out here with any one of these guys pushing this bullshit, right, about how Biden's policies are so great, they're all going to lose. They're all going to lose, right? The Democrat that has the best chance of actually winning against Trump is the Democrat that actually acknowledges reality. Says, our party's terrible. We have to transform our party to not be a party of progressive lunatics and lies and gaslighting, right? Once we do that, okay, we'll be in the right place, okay? But we have to fix everything that happened in the Biden administration by becoming more conservative, okay? The Democrats need to be more conservative, but they will never do that. They will never, ever, ever do that. And again, this is why they're going to lose, okay? So it is what it is. I just find it to be hilarious how this whole party, the administration, has become a laughing stock in front of the whole world. It's sad, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Democrats deserve all the humiliation that they're getting right now as a party. I love to see it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.